Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are here at Portaventura. Wanted to come to this park for a long time and we've finally made it. It looks really nice upon entry actually. All the little details down there. This lake looks really nice. There's Baco with Shambhala, and I don't know if you can see it, but Kahn is out there too, just poking up above the rocks. It's a really nice opening area to the park, one of the best park opening areas I've seen. Now we've come in here, but we are just going to go straight to Ferrari Land because there is a little entrance in there. We're going to do Red Force and then we'll head back over here to do the rest. Red Force, what a coaster that was. Its launch was definitely its best element. I'll keep the camera on it in the background for now whilst I give a quick review of it. Yeah, its launch is definitely its best element. It's got quite a powerful launch. It's got a nice drop on it on the other side as well. Yeah, it's decent. It's quite smooth as well, apart from that shake at the bottom of the lift. Oh, there it goes now. One thing I would say about it is its elements are that drawn out. You do kind of start to get used to them after a while. And then on the other side it's a bit awkward. It's kind of brake run style. It kind of has a brake run, then goes up a bit, and a brake run, and it kind of hurts a bit going up. But all around as a coaster, I think its launch really makes it spectacular. It's a really good ride and definitely worth the extra £5 just to come into this park for. Anyway, there's another yellow cred to get, and then I'll get a bit more footage of that, and then I'll be headed back over to Portaventura. There's the station, and there's one of its last airtime hills, Shambhala. Brilliant coaster, that one. Really good. Second ride of the day. It's got really amazing airtime on it. Absolutely absurd airtime on its first airtime hill. The drop's quite good as well. It is a decent coaster. I do think it's probably been a bit overhyped by certain somebody. But yeah, it's still really good fun. It's a decent coaster. It's better than the other one of these B&M Hypers I've done over at Europa Silver Star for sure. It has theme into it, obviously theme to the expedition to the Himalayas, being its tagline as well. There it is, just about to crest its lift hill. It definitely has the most airtime I think I've probably ever experienced on a coaster. For sure, you can just put your arms out and you're just floating around. It's insane. Although I will criticise it on a few things. It's mainly operations. Its station area is well themed and well done, but it probably could do with a bit of audio in there. I'm pretty sure the ride has a soundtrack, I've heard. around, so why not just play that in the station? Also, they are on 3 trains, but the operations there, as I have started to notice around the park, a common theme, the operations were atrocious. So we were stuck in on that brake run by 2 trains. There's 3 trains on, 1 would be in the station and then 2 on the brake run, which is really poor. Especially in this heat, they need to put some kind of cover over that brake run at the very least. We're now walking around more of the Chinese area, and we're going to head to the far west. We're going to come back and do Dragon Kahn later because it's got a bit of a queue on. I used the single rider queue actually for Shambhala, and that's another thing I'd like to say about that, both that and Red Force. It's single rider queues are a bit awkwardly placed. That one was easy enough to get to because you didn't have to enter the main queue, but on Red Force you had to enter the main queue before entering the single rider queue, which didn't make much sense to me, so I was waiting for a good hour before I even got to the single rider queue. Shambhala, at least, it's right there, but it is still awkward to get to. I ended up getting lost in that massive castle pen. But as a coaster alone, yeah, it's really, really good. It's definitely up there as one of the best coasters I've done. Not the best, not better than Taron, but it's up there.
I'm not sure, I don't know.
Tomahawk was actually quite a good coaster. It took me by surprise, that one. I was just expecting a nice little kiddie coaster, but it had some decent drops on it. Yeah, a really good little family coaster, that one. And we didn't get it, but I imagine it has some good interactions with Stampida, the dueling Woody right next to it. Although one thing I would just like to quickly say about Stampida, someone had a phone out on it trying to film the ride as they came round that corner right there just in front of Tomahawk, and their phone, well, they must have lost grip, their phone flew out and onto the track of Tomahawk and then onto the floor. It smashed on the track of Tomahawk and then fell onto the floor, and basically all I'm saying there is that is a message. Sorry, I just interrupted there for a nice shot of Stampida. That message is basically there. Don't use your phones to record, only use safe recording equipment with the permission of the park, because a train of Tomahawk was at the top of the hill, and had they not been at the top of that hill, had they have been at that spot where the phone flew off and hit, then that would have definitely been a serious injury / death. So yeah, the park probably could have regulated that, but if they had it in their pocket, just don't do it. Don't be sly. Anyway, I guess kind of rant over. Let's go get on Stampida. Well, the theme into Stampede is alright. That's about as much as it's got going for it. I've just got off. Yeah, that's the worst ride of the day, I'll say that for a fact. People have been saying it's quite good, it's fun, it's enjoyable. No, it bloody isn't. It's rough from the second that lift hill disengages. It hurts. I've got a headache on a ride that doesn't have an over-the-shoulder restraint. I think that is a first. It didn't let up either. I mean, yeah, sure, it was intense. It kept going right until the end. I didn't want it to. Yeah, that was really bad. I'm sorry. Even I was saying even Tomahawk. Tomahawk was quite good. Tomahawk was better than that. I think there is no two ways about it. Tomahawk. Tomahawk is better than that. The other one will come back around. The only good thing about it though, and this is from a design aspect, John Wardley's little wonder work in the middle of this, where you all of a sudden go and like face the other car, is incredible, and it's a really good use of the dueling aspect. And I was a real big fan of that. And yeah, there it was. You actually saw it just then. That aspect where you go and face the other car, and that's about it. Yeah. Stampida, a bit of a disappointing one to be fair. I'd been told it was quite good. But it just hurt, and it really did let the ride down. I'm now stood back on the Western Main Street for the second time of the day. We've just been round and I've done quite a lot actually since I've last spoken to you, so I'll go through it all. I've done another ride on Shambhala, this time on the front row. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's an outstanding coaster. I might have came off, I think, earlier on as though I was a bit underwhelmed by it. I certainly was not. The second time was even better. Front row, really good. Not as much airtime further forward. I was a bit further back last time. Not as much airtime, but still an amazing coaster. Really, really good quality. Then I came off to do Dragon Kahn. Dragon Kahn was good. It wasn't amazing. It was intense at parts, I suppose, but it was a bit underwhelming everywhere else. It was quite rough in terms of, like, it had a bit of a rattle. But it has been open, I think, since when the park opened in '95, so I suppose that just develops with age anyway. And then we finally came round and I went to Hurricane Condor. Hurricane Condor was really good fun, actually. You obviously get the fear factor as you're going up, but the drop itself was quite good. It wasn't as forceful as others, such as Apocalypse at Drayton Manor, but it was still decent. And finally, we're getting through them, Templo del Fuego, the Temple of Fire. It's almost like a big show area, and yeah, it's really good. I imagine there'll be some kind of video of that on YouTube if you want to watch it, or come out here to do it. Yeah, it's amazing. The fire effects are amazing. You can really feel the heat. It almost feels like your face is melting off. They've got brilliant water effects. The soundtrack to it's awesome. It was all in Spanish, so I had no idea what was going on, but you kind of get the general gist of things anyway, and by the way the crowd reacts, you can tell what's going on anyway. Yeah, it's a really good ride. We're now making our way back round to the main entrance to do Furious Baco. There we go, with Tatuki Splash we have now reached darkness. As I said, we were going to Baco, we did Baco. Yeah, it really wasn't good fun at all. I've heard things about that one. I've heard some people say it was alright, I've seen others say it wasn't the greatest. There it is as well, Tatuki Splash down there with its boat. You can't really see much in this light. I've heard people say it was good, I've heard them say it was bad. I'm one of the ones that can firmly say it's bad. The restraints are very good. I don't like the fact it doesn't actually go into a hill after the launch. It goes into a like drop. That really hurts. The restraints hurt. Everything about it hurts. It's not the greatest. Although the launch itself is good fun. I did like the launch. And then obviously, as you've just seen, we've just come off, as you can see from my wetness, 2 rides on Tatuki Splash. Really good water ride actually, that one. It's the best of the day. We did also do at one point the Grand Canyon Rapids and the Silver River Flume. Just I forgot to say anything about them. Yeah, they were good, all 3 of them. I'd probably rank Silver River Flume in 3rd because it seemed a bit bare at parts and probably could have done with a bit of theming around the actual ride area. Grand Canyon Rapids at 2nd because it was nice and fast, it was good pace, it did get me a bit wet to be fair. And then obviously Tatuki Splash at number 1. It's a really, really good water ride, that one, with a really good splashdown at the end. Well then, we are back here at the hotel after an amazing day at Portaventura. When I last spoke to you, we just got off to Tupi Splash, and at that point we headed back round to the entrance for the footage you've just seen of Fiesta Ventura. There was a whole parade before it, there was a little bit of a stage, sing-song with Woody the Woodpecker in the middle, and then they had the whole water fireworks show with all the big boat floats, which were really good as well. The whole thing was absolutely amazing. Could you imagine if a UK park did something like that? The whole thing lasted about half an hour, including the parade and everything, and it was just outstanding. They had a bit in the actual water show for each area. I think I showed you a bit of Polynesia, where they had men on them hoverboard jet things with water, which were cool. The fireworks were really good. It was all put together to really upbeat and really good music. Yeah, the whole thing was an amazing experience and a really good way to wrap up a really good day at the park. In terms of the day at the park, my best ride is very easily, I think, Shambhala, with second place going to Red Force. Shambhala is such an amazing coaster, isn't it? I just loved everywhere. Every area was really well done. It was really well themed throughout. It had decent audio in places, although it was lacking in some places. The audio, it just kind of fell quiet, especially in ride stations. They could have done with that, but there was good audio around everywhere else. The theming was decent throughout the day. The only nag I really have with the whole place is its operations, which is something I think I was pretty well warned about anyway beforehand. But the operations in the place were quite poor. A lot of the rides were running 2 or 3 trains, but the staff didn't really seem to use those 2 or 3 trains well. At one point they were stacking 3 trains on Shambhala, 1 in the station, 2 on the brake run. I think I mentioned that earlier. So the operations could have been better, but apart from that, everything else was absolutely amazing. It was a really good day out, and I would recommend coming out to Portaventura. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the vlog from Portaventura. I've had a great time. If you've had a great time watching, don't forget to leave a like. And until next time guys, goodbye.